Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Today we have two pretty good games for you, and there's an interesting thing on both games, so I would recommend sticking around for the second game so you can hear what we're going to go over. It's something that comes up quite often. But on this first game, as you see, we made a ball on the break, and after scanning the table, player 1 decides to go for the solids, which are looking pretty good here. There is a ball there in the left-hand corner that's going to need to be taken care of, but we'll have a nice combo there because it looks like the three balls there sitting pretty well for a three-ball combo. But this is where it gets interesting. As you see, the ball flies off the table. So player 2, actually, being that he fouled here, would lose his run-out attempt. But on this particular day, we decided to keep playing because we hadn't looked up that rule, even though we figured it was probably a foul that would make you lose your turn. I think the ruling is any ball that's knocked off the table is considered a foul, even though it's not the object ball or the cue ball, and you make your object ball. But the foul basically negates that. The ball still stays down that you made, but you don't get to continue your turn from the rulings that I read. So on this particular day, it was kind of a tough one, so we kept playing anyway, even though we knocked that, what I think was a 5-ball off the table, cleared the rest of the balls, which I found was kind of ironic because we were going for our run out, and of course this is the game we get our run out on. And now there was just this cleaning up these stripes just to keep everything real. And I started shooting pretty well, as you see. We have 4 balls left here to clean up. And I was getting good action on the cue ball. As you see, I drew that back pretty nice, giving me a shot along the rail for the 14. Now, we could either go for the bank here or go for the long shot. I went for the long shot, and as you'll see, I missed it, but since the, quote unquote run out, being that it wasn't truly a run out, was already over, I figured I would retake that shot, and this time I made it perfect. Left myself very long here, guys, but still kind of dialed it in and dropped it. So that game was interesting because we had the ball fly off the table. So let's scratch that from our run out. Now this is our second game, and there's an interesting thing that'll come up, and I'll show you in a second. As you see, we made a stripe here, and after scanning the table, it's looking like the solids are looking pretty good. There is a grouping on the right-hand side in the bottom where those 4 or 5 balls are together. We need to figure out how to get those broke up if we're going to have a good run out. But this is where, being that ball in the left-hand corner was buried by a stripe, I figured I'd just take this 1 ball straight into the side pocket, clean. And this is where the debate comes up. As you see, I hit the 7 ball, and I didn't call it off the 7. So if you're playing APA rules, then you'd keep playing because you made your object ball. But I play a rule set where you have to call everything, and it's got to be clean. Including on the break, it's like the only benefit of making a ball on the break is you get to go again. The table's still open. If you miss your next shot, of course, the table remains open, even though you made a ball on the break. Those are the rules I like to play, guys, especially if we're playing for cash or if we're doing runouts for the show here. But, like I said, this was an interesting day, and so I decided to keep going for the solids anyway. And I was playing pretty good, but I wasn't able to break these up. And in my mind, I was like, even if I make this run out, it's not going to count. And so this is where it got kind of interesting as I missed that. I was going for a 2-rail bank into the right-hand corner, and I missed, made a stripe there. So now I only have 5 stripes for the player 2's run out attempt. And I felt okay because now this is going to be a genuine run out. Basically, how that works is it's up to the player. If they take the shot, sometimes I'll just let them. If they, hit a ball and they don't call it off of that ball, like a carom or billiards, If it's a really good player, I'll make sure that they know up front what the rule set is. But if it's a player that's like having a hard time winning any games, sometimes I'll let it slide. So I kind of looked at it like that on this game, where player 1 I just let slide. And now as player 2, I get real serious. Drop this 8-ball into the side pocket for the win and the run out. Of course, being an easier run out, only had 5 balls to hit because player 1 made a break, made one on the break, and then also made a ball later by just random chance. A stripe had fallen when he was going for his solid. So guys, I hope you enjoyed these games. A little drum roll there, or a little, basically, you can almost consider it like a karate move, but I enjoy that for the exit here, guys. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.